Hi there, Sarah here, your ELA for this fabulous unit planning for career success. So far you've reached the halfway mark, so we are now in week 5, and give yourselves a pat in the back because you're over halfway, which is just fabulous. So we now move on to assignment 3, and this week we look at module 3, which helps pull your response together for parts A and parts B of assignment 3 specifically. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to do what we call a flip collaborate session. We haven't had a lot of attendance at the live collaborate session, so I thought I'd try a different approach and tell you about the assignment and talk about it before the session, so then at the session you can come along and we can treat it more like a drop-in centre where you drop in to ask some questions along the way too. So we'll still have the session on Thursday night, but this video that I released beforehand will have given you a chance to have a good look at it and then come to the session planned with any questions you may have specifically. So now we move through to the making decisions area, which will help you develop a career plan, which is the 4th step in the career planning process. So now you've got a solid sense of yourself and who you are, what you're looking for in a career, and have connected this to an ideal job. So what I'd love to hear more about from you as well is, what is that ideal job? What is the industry you're looking at working into? And that is actually what's also formed part of assignment 2, which you handed in on Monday just gone as well. Too. So this task for assignment 3 draws together what you've learned in modules 1, 2 and 3 into an action plan that analyses and summarises the skills required for employment opportunities for your ideal job. And it helps you in particular to set some goals to establish job readiness and develop your career along your chosen career path. So what I suggest you do is work through module 3 here, making decisions, and just work through each of these components. Don't forget, we've got some really fabulous videos that have been made specifically by Swinburne Online for these industry experts that we've got as well too. Now they really offer valuable insights, and this is some feedback we've had from students in the past, that if we could, really touch into some industry experts. So please remember to consider what Melissa, Shannon and Simon are saying as well too. It's just some really valuable insights for you there too. So just work through each of the sections in the module, and as per normal, work through the areas where you watch the video and then click on the Explore tab and start working through some of these prompts here in particular. So what it will do as well too, as you know, in assignment 3 there's a fabulous career action plan template that you can work with and fill in. I'll just pull that up as well too. So here it is here. It's in Word. What will happen is it'll open up in Word for you, and it's a document that you literally hop into and just start typing away, my strength, so forth. So you just do a save as, and then you use this as your template, and then you continue to populate it. So the areas you're going to be working on here for this assessment are part 1, you're populating the My Profile bit, future. So this essentially for the My Future section is going to be really a summary of the research you compiled in assignment 2, your research report. So that will be a really good synopsis of what you pulled together for assignment 2, talking about your key attributes, key skills. And then we move on to the plan part, which is particularly relevant for in this week. So week 5 in module 3, you'll work through how to put together your own SWOT, so your own strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats, and then nut out some SMART goals. So you'll come up with a couple of goals here. You'll come up with one goal that you're going to look to reach in 6 months, 1 in 12, and then one in 5 years. We've broken them down like this because they're going to be sort of easier bite-sized goals for you to focus on, and what you might be looking to achieve in 5 years is going to be quite different to what you might be looking to achieve in 6 months as well too. Then we move through to the skill development plan. So you just work through that specifically, and don't forget that the each of the exercises you do throughout the module help you out with that as well too. And of course, going back to the module here too, of course, when you work through module 3, what we've got here is as you go. So the first quiz is to do your SWOT, then you do a goal setting one as well too. Don't forget about these extra readings and resources in here too, because this will be particularly relevant, because what we're looking for you to do too is as you populate your plan is we're looking for you to draw on some relevant literature. So we'll work through that criteria in a minute to show you exactly what that really means. But here are some extra readings and resources that support all the additional stuff along the way too. So if we go to the assignment itself and just work through that. So it is due in week 7 and it's worth 25% plus or minus 1,500 words, working with the template provided as well too. So if we look at the overview for you, so as I mentioned earlier, it's a 4th step in the career planning process, and it really ties together what you've learnt in modules 1, 2 and 3 to enable you to put it into an action plan. So specifically drawing down, this is what we're looking for here too. So working with the template that I just showed you, you do a save as of that template and submit that document. So work through each section methodically this week and completing the My Profile section. So this is where you're going to tell us a bit about your strengths and weaknesses, what you value most in the workplace, what you're passionate about, what are your top 3 priorities as well that you want to really work on, and what's a top skill that you bring to the workplace. How do you feel you can really add some value? So if you've completed the quizzes in module 1, you can return to them as well, and they should help you populate this area specifically. So moving on to part 2, My Future. So this is where you'll provide a summary of your ideal job and analysis of the skills you've identified that you need to develop for this job. So this in essence is a summary or a synopsis of what you've put together for assignment 2. So you've already done a lot of work for this section too. So what we're looking for here is a summary of your ideal job and a key summary of a summary of key skills and attributes that you need for that job that you've identified throughout your research. So part 3, the career action plan, that's where you'll pull together your SWOT. So there's that quiz there I just showed you that will help you work through your SWOT and your SMART goals. And so with a SMART goal, what we're looking for there is your SMART goals need to be specific, measurable, achievable, and they need to be relevant, and they need to be time-bound as well too, which is your 6 months, 12 months, and 5 years as well. So as you're writing your SMART goals, there's some great resources and tips on how to work with SMART goals. Make sure that you feel they are what we call SMART, because therefore they will probably be we believe they'll be more attainable, more achievable, and you'll be able to reach those goals. Provide a summary of the resources you'll need to achieve these goals. And then lastly, look at a development plan. So what are you going to need to do to bring yourself up to that level or that standard or that skill level that you feel is required? What further training and development would you be looking at there specifically? So essentially the career action plan is a personal planning document requiring self-analysis and reflection. So once again, you're looking at that reflective writing type model. So it's fine to use first person such as I. And, it can be descriptive, but to make it, to give it more depth and more oomph specifically, you'll need to work with some theories that we spoke about, some theories and literature and sources we spoke about. So remember, that extra readings area that I just drew you to, where there's some great extra resources and literature and sources there. But in particular, as you're working through each of the module components, there are some extra readings and bits and pieces along the way there that will help you out too. So in terms of additional resources available for you, we've got the career action plan template, which we just had a look at. Your referencing guides. I would suggest I mean, you've been practicing your referencing for assignment 1 and assignment 2, so it should be starting to come together quite nicely for you as well now. I always recommend you save whichever style guide is relevant for you in your browser too. And then this just tells you how to submit it. You've submitted 2 assignments by now, so you know how to do that. So that's nothing new for you specifically. So let's look now at the assessment criteria for the remainder of this session. So it's broken down into 3 areas. So the completion of the career action plan, the evidence of the use of self-assessment. So this is where we really are wanting you to illustrate and display to us that you have actually worked through those self-assessment tasks in the modules, and as such you've completed the quizzes as well too. We'd like to see that you've done some further research and found some literature to help you support your ideas that you've come up with. And we're looking for solid written communication skills here specifically. So as we work through each of these criteria, let's focus on the high distinction area specifically. So what we're looking for here is that you have actually completed the career action plan. So all of the details are in there, and that it shows the reader that you've taken a really considered, careful approach. You're not just skimming the surface. You're giving us as much detail as you can. So don't forget, you can use bullet points. You don't need to use full sentences as long as it's grammatically correct. So we really want to make sure that you're giving us some really solid insight into the employability skills and job readiness and career development for yourself, for your action plan, and illustrating how you're going to effectively plan your career as such too. So this is worth a lot. It's worth 60%. So when you're reviewing and assessing these, what we call rubrics, assessment criteria, make sure you really are very much aware of the weighting of these sections. So this is clearly how we mark you. So at all times you must come back and revisit this rubric and make sure you're actually addressing it and say, look, am I answering it to that level? Am I addressing the criteria in the manner that is in this rubric? So here we look at the evidence of self-assessments, research and literature, so worth 10%. So what we're looking for here is evidence to tell me that you've actually worked through those self-assessments, that you've found some literature, and it's helped you support your ideas of these, what we call ready to launch items. So those areas you're talking about in the My Profile area, and in the My Plan area with your SMART goals and your SWOTs as well as to what you're going to do, and then your development plan. So what professional development will you need? What attributes are you going to need to develop, and job skills specifically? What qualifications do you need? And here we'll be looking to make sure that your referencing is accurate as well, the formatting. So written communication, the final component, which is also worth quite a lot as well, is that it's articulately, clearly put together. It's nicely formatted. You're going to use a template we provide you. You're more than welcome to enhance that, improve that in any way you like. It's just some bare bones to help you play with, to sort of nut it all out and pull it together for you as well too. We'd like to see that you've taken some care with the editing and proofreading and spell checking and things like that as well too. So all in all, it should be quite straightforward for you because you've actually done, a lot of the work already. So what we'll do is come to the session on Thursday night. I'll be there from 7 a.m. for half an hour for you to drop in. Now, if there's more questions, we'll go longer than a half an hour. But in the last session, we only had one person in the first session, and no one turned up to the last session. So I want to make this really valuable for you as well too. So I hope you find this helpful, and I can't wait to see some of you on Thursday night. Thanks a lot. Bye.